Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Painted Dog TV with myself, Gareth Poole, and we have the wonderful Basil with us on camera this afternoon, everybody. Very excited to be out and about once again on the beautiful Rietspruit Game Reserve. And we're just starting here now at one of the small little water holes called Lemunduran Krip. And it looks like there's been quite a lot of action here today. Mostly rhino, by the looks of things. But I think there was an elephant bull that was feeding in this area sometime last night, which is why I've come down here, hoping to potentially find the elephants, maybe the rhino. And what's interesting is if you look at the water hole, there where the pipe enters the little reservoir, the elephants have actually managed to pull the concrete block off the top, basically the lid, protecting the pump and the pipe. Amazing how powerful and destructive these elephants can be. Probably just trying to get the cleanest water possible, so not wanting to drink what's in the trough or in the reservoir, but rather just take it straight out of the tap. And judging by the looks of things, they've opened it enough so that they can actually get their trunk inside there. Amazing. A couple drives ago I saw a whole bunch of pipes that have been ripped up from under the ground as well. These elephants, I tell you, they are resourceful, powerful creatures. It's a cold and windy afternoon, folks. Slight bit of drizzle that's already hit us this afternoon, so we're hoping that's going to stay away. We're going to keep moving and try avoid the rain as best as we can, but there is some weather coming in, so fingers crossed it won't interfere too much with our live safari this afternoon. But a very, very big welcome to everybody that's joined us. It's lovely to have you with us. Just going to quickly see who of my pack members have joined me this afternoon. Good afternoon, Carol, Mary, Jennifer, Barbara, Di, Rosemary. Welcome, ladies. Good to have you with us. Now, as mentioned, folks, I have come down here to see if I can find any fresh signs of the elephants. But what I've also been told is that the pride of lions, all 6 lionesses, were at Kudu Krip last night. And I believe a couple of the stations, a couple of the vehicles did go out this morning and try to find them, but had absolutely no luck. Pretty good tracks of rhino on the road here. It looks like white rhino walking up this way. So I'm also going to see if we can have any luck in tracking down the pride this afternoon, everybody. With these windy conditions, I put my money on it that the pride has probably made a kill, which is why nobody found them this morning. They might be inside the block or blocks near to Kudu Krip. So we're going to go towards that area and see if we can find any signs of them, see if we can find any tracks. Carol, I see you asked the question, what is on the car? That is VM's attempt to make us as inconspicuous as possible. Just hiding the big fat white dish on the bonnet with a bit of, geez, I don't even know what you would call this. It's almost like what a sniper wears when he's out in the field trying to conceal himself. So we are very, very sneaky this afternoon. Something that we're just trialing out. So far so good. Pretty strong breeze, and it hasn't managed to rip it off the dish just yet. So that's good news. Got Andrew screaming in my ear saying it's a ghillie suit. Well, it's not really a suit, but it's ghillie material, I suppose, that's covering the dish. Thank you, Andrew. Not sure where those rhino tracks went to. I don't see them anymore. I might have cut through the block on one of the game paths here, a route they often take. We'll just quickly investigate that. At the same time, we have the Deep Sloot riverbed here to our left, where the pride does often go to hunt. We're not a million miles away from Kudu Krip itself, which is due east of us. And as we know, lions cover quite a lot of ground in the night if they want to. So we'll start from outside or way off and sort of close in towards Kudu Krip this afternoon and see if we can find any signs of this pride, folks. once again, just love this weather. I love being out on a safari in these cool conditions. Just always get the feeling like I'm going to bump into predators in action, because they are. Predators will be active in these conditions. A lot of your general game, a lot of your herbivores will actually settle and lie down in these conditions, taking advantage, I think, of the cooler conditions to rest while it's still daylight and they can see around them. But at the same time, they feel a bit nervous moving around when the wind is blowing, because it messes with a lot of their senses. Brief glimpse of a warthog there running away from us, big warthog. So yeah, a lot of your general game, like the impala, nyala, kudu, even the giraffe, often lie down in these conditions. Same with the rhino, actually. Oh, it's a beautiful bird here. Hopefully it stays put. You see it there, Basil? Absolutely gorgeous violet-backed starling, everybody. It's just popped up into the tree here. Absolutely amazing colours. Definitely one of my favourite birds. It's hard not to love a bird with colours that's rich. Probably is busy jumping through this little shepherd's tree, searching for insects, caterpillars. Beautiful bird. Quickly hop off and see if there's any tracks here that lead down to the Rietspruit River. Quite easy to spot the pride's tracks when they're on the move. 6 sets of massive pug paws, pug marks rather, of those lionesses. Didn't see any of that there. We of course have not forgotten about the female cheetah with the 5 cubs. No sightings since the first one. Just thinking about them now though, you imagine how nervous the mom and the cubs would be in these weather conditions with the strong wind. Cheetah often feel very unsettled in strong wind, so they might not be on the move, they might just be hunkered down somewhere. But also really good news, folks. The older of our 2 female cheetah was seen, not sure if it was yesterday morning or the day before, with her cub on Kai and Glovu. So that's a wonderful update that the older cheetah and her cub are still thriving. They are on the far eastern portion of the reserve at the moment. And you never know. The young female and her new cubs may have gone that way too. There hasn't been any recent sign. But for now, it seems like both moms are doing very well, which is fantastic news. We're not too far away from Seskunt Krip, everybody, another little reservoir which is just up ahead. I'm actually just going to quickly pop up there. Can be quite a productive little area this, before slowly turning back east towards Kudu Krip. Going to slow down a touch now as we approach the waterhole I was talking about. Beautiful open area here to our left. Love this little patch on the reserve. nobody drinking right now. What have you got there, Basil? Ah, they've gapped. Worse, I'm Impala off there to our left, so they've probably just come for a drink, now on their way. Just quickly check the spot for tracks again. Nothing here, everybody. Let's keep going. It's always good to check off, each of the water holes, just in case the pride may have come to drink, especially if my hunch is correct and they've made a kill. Then they'll often go for water if it's accessible, if it's close by, to help with the digestion process. See, there's a grey go-away bird taking cover from this wind at the top of the tree here. Interesting set of tracks here, which for a while I thought might have been a leopard, but it turns out it's a hyena. But from last night, they probably came and had a drink at the waterhole behind us. Just now starting to feel a bit more drizzle. We'll see how it goes. European bee eater. It's just stopped there at the top of that tree. Looked like it caught something on the wing. And probably won't sit there for very long. It'll probably fly off again now that it's almost finished eating its meal. Not sure what it was. Some flying insect, very likely a bee. Saw a whole bunch of African honeybees here at the waterhole. There's probably quite a lot of them buzzing around. Fantastic view of this European bee eater, however. You can hear a couple more flying around. Often find them in flocks, these European bee eaters, and they've obviously just returned from Europe. Come down here for their summer. Not a bad place to have a summer vacation. Oh dear, I think this weather's pushing in here, everybody. Right, so still no tracks of the Pride. Doesn't appear that they headed west last night. As I was saying, I think there's a good chance they might have made a kill. We'll now just keep heading towards Kudu Krip, everybody, and hopefully the weather will hold out. Jennifer, to answer your question about the recent leopard sightings, there have been quite a few, to be honest, but sadly not for us. I think the last one on a live safari was with Brent and Margot at Leopard Dam, but it's been a couple of months since I found one, which, as you can imagine, makes me quite sad. Being my favourite cats. Yeah, it's been pretty tough, but it's to be expected, especially the time of the year and how thick the vegetation has become. It's just so easy to drive past these solitary cats now with the bush being so thick. Sorry?
This one, that I want to see.
Okay. Basil's just telling me to let you all know, folks. He's just going to quickly give the front of the lens a wipe. There is a bit of rain coming in now, folks, so we're just trying to clear that up for you a bit. Yeah, VM, I think for now we're good. It's very light rain. And look, the wind is still pretty strong, so I'm hoping it's just going to blow this light drizzle away from us. Copy. So just busy discussing with VM back in FC, everybody, about the weather conditions. Sadly, as most of you know, we need to be very careful with our expensive camera equipment on the vehicle. It doesn't do too well with water, so VM said it's my call to make. If the weather gets any worse, we might have to try and hightail it back to camp to get the equipment out of the weather. But so far, so good. Touch wood. It's not all that bad just yet. The next little section, brief section up ahead here, everybody, close to this riverbed, does often throw out a couple of gremlins, but I'm not going to be sticking around here for too long. I just need to check the riverbed to see if these lionesses came up this way, and then I'm going to turn back toward the little reservoir where they were seen yesterday evening. Man, those lionesses must be loving this weather. Such a nice reprieve from the intense heat we usually get here this time of the year. Of beautiful spots down there in the river where the pride could sleep. river sand.
Jake's for Kevin. Standing by. Are you coming to the Palmer this afternoon? Negative, given Gareth's been there yesterday.
There are no signs down here either, folks. We are getting closer now to their last position from yesterday evening. Vervet monkey tracks. Oh, there's a giraffe. Hello, dear. How are thee? I love how they're always so intrigued by us. So wonderful to have these beautiful animals stare at us like that. Show us their beautiful faces. Watch that giraffe's ears because of the strong wind. You'll notice how those ears are going to be working overtime back and forth because of all the disruption. The wind makes a lot of noise in the trees around her. She, of course, has the height advantage over everybody else. So we'll feel a little bit more comfortable being out feeding in the strong wind. She's now lost interest in us and keeps looking at something up the road. Good afternoon, Michael and Connie. Lovely to have you with us, guys. Beautiful afternoon and a stunning sighting of this female giraffe. Busy searching for lions, by the way. The Pride were seen not far from here last night near Kudu Krip, which is just ahead of us. So far, no luck, no tracks. Alright, everybody, I'm going to leave this beautiful giraffe to her supper. And keep searching. Goodbye, gorgeous. Amazing animal. Just want to see if I can see what she was looking at up the road here. She didn't seem all that concerned, to be fair. She was certainly staring this way quite a lot. Don't see any tracks here. And don't see anybody on the road, which is where she was looking. Anyway, the road I want to take's behind us here, everyone. One of my favourite sneaky roads. It goes up towards Kudu Krip. Doesn't look like anyone has driven it all that recently, and so maybe the tracks of the Pride were missed down here. This road runs very close to the riverbed where the Pride may have headed. That riverbed now being on our left. Did you guys drive here this morning, Basil? And you didn't have any tracks of the Pride yet, obviously.
We tried to follow them to segue down.
Tracks of the Pride?
Yeah.
Okay.
Afternoon, Sandy. There's 4 leader stations on Blowbank, and the only active sighting was 3 male lions at Yuki Dam.
Copy that. Thanks.
Sandy for Gareth.
Standing by, Gareth.
Good afternoon. Where were your last tracks of the Pride?
They were at Kudukuk last night, and they left the Krip heading in a southerly direction on the game path. And that little road that goes south of the Krip, they crossed there into the block, and I lost the tracks right there. So I presume in the drainage line between there and Kudu Krip, because I went all the way to Mamba Dam, couldn't pick up any tracks on Borsvaart or leopard paths.
Okay, copy that, thanks. Now, there's tracks of these lionesses here, but these tracks are not fresh. These tracks are from when they came down to Kudu Krip. Kudu Krip, everybody. Copy that, thanks, Sandy. So I have found their tracks here, everyone, but these are the tracks from earlier yesterday afternoon when they came down to drink here at Kudu Krip. Sandy was just giving me an update. She did find some tracks of them going south away from that waterhole this morning, but they didn't pop out anywhere else. So they may have made a kill in that block south of Kudu Krip. we'll go have a look. But sadly, folks, once again, weather's turning for the worst. Starting to rain a little bit heavier here now. Go away, rain. Don't you know you're only meant to rain before or after our game drives? Carol, to answer your question, yes, the male lions are still sleeping at Rietspruit. There's a couple of vehicles with them there at the moment. I doubt they're going to go anywhere in a hurry with this rain coming in now. You probably find that the lionesses caught wind of those males sometime last night and tried to get away from them, went the opposite direction. How are you doing there, Basil? Yeah. You surviving? Basil behind me here, folks, is doing everything in his power to wrap up the camera, try and stop as much rain getting onto the camera. Copy. Just thinking now, folks, that Lowveld might be a good bet this evening for that pride. That's the next waterhole south of Kudu-Krip, which is the direction of their tracks. They were heading south, but hadn't turned up there yet this morning, but they may be there this afternoon/evening. So that's where we're going if the weather allows it. Basil's just going to quickly wipe the lens for us, everybody. Just get rid of some of that moisture.
Warren off level.
Kevin for Gareth.
Yeah, go ahead.
Afternoon, Kevin. What's the weather like down near Rietspruit?
Drizzly. So they're along that whole ridge there, it's a bit drizzly. I'm now at Lowveld and it's not drizzling at the moment.
Okay, copy that. Thank you. Oh, there we go, everybody. Just heard it from the man himself, Mr. Kevin Leo Smith. He says it's drizzly, but not all that bad. And he's quite a bit further south of us. He's actually currently at Lowveld, the waterhole I was going to go check for these lionesses. So they haven't come out there yet. Might be close to where the last tracks were this morning. Maybe that's where they've made their kill. elephant roadblock. Elephants have been leaving me some presents along the road here. Just making sure I get my exercise in. Just listening to some oxpeckers that are flying overhead. Trying to figure out where they've come from or where they're going. But they are flying straight over. The reason I'm interested in those oxpeckers is, as a lot of us know, they sit on the backs of rhino, and they're not far from the water. So I was wondering if there could potentially be some rhino around. The rain stopped, everybody. Hopefully haven't jinxed it, but the rain has stopped. Right, so we're just about to come out here at Kudu Krip. Let's go see if anybody's here. Nobody home. tracks everywhere here. You see where I'm standing? You see the urine here, Basil? I don't know if you can see that on picture. That's the lioness's urine. Yes, it's got a very strong pungent smell. Seems like this pride lay about here quite a lot last night. You can see it all over the place where they were lying down, where they were urinating. But I can see the set of tracks that go south from here, along that prominent game path that cuts away from the waterhole here towards the next road. Just head up that way. Now my earphones disconnected. That's why we were hearing Andrew's banter loud and clear. Well, doesn't look like they've come back this way. I just want to come up here to where this game trail crosses the road and just make sure we're keeping tabs on where these lionesses have moved to. So it would have been somewhere here that they would have crossed the road. I see there's been a lot of vehicles driving up and down here looking for said pride, so they may have driven over a lot of the tracks. Did see one track there though. White-browed scrub robin singing his song.
Warren closing down.
We might get lucky as well, folks, and see a whole bunch of vultures if the lions have made a kill somewhere here, up in the trees. It wasn't as cold as it is now, and there wasn't any rain this morning, so the vultures may have been active this morning and may have found the lionesses on their kill. couple months back when we'd first moved here when Painted Dog TV had first moved here back to Rietspruit Game Reserve. Myself and Matt had the most incredible sighting of the pride here. We'd found tracks near Lowveld Dam, and they were coming up this way, and we'd seen them briefly, and then we saw them take off into this block of land here to the right, everybody. And we heard the commotion of these lionesses trying to tackle something, trying to bring something down. And they went thundering in here. And I went around to the next road to see if they'd crossed there. Nothing. Came back and eventually drove in here and found a way in. And we had the most incredible sighting. The pride had just killed a kudu in this riverbed, which is down below us here now. And they were just starting to tuck into this carcass. They was just starting to feed on the kudu. So I know from the past that these lionesses, being creatures of habit, often hunt similar areas. They know these, this territory of theirs backwards. So they know where to go and find game generally, and also where to chase game, where they have better chances of catching that prey, tripping their prey up. So they chased this kudu through the riverbed, and this kudu must have lost its footing as it went into the riverbed, because it's exactly where they caught it. And that was just up ahead here to the right. As I said before, Kevin, I think he might not still be sitting there, but he's definitely gone past Lowveld Dam this afternoon, and he didn't see any signs of them there. So my gut is telling me they're somewhere between where we are and Lowveld Dam. Now, as the crow flies, that's about 3/4 of a mile from here to Lowveld Dam. So it is a big block. It's a massive area. It's going to be quite tough if they are in here. But you
just on Cisco South, heading east, crossing the road just near Lamunda and Junction.
Ah, there we go. Kevin's just found elephants, everybody, behind us. That's great news, folks. So I'm just going to quickly check here to see if I don't see the tracks of the pride. See if I don't hear anything. Ah, this is where they crossed. Right here. Can you see that, Basil? The pride crossed here, everybody. You can see one paw mark there. And another one here. You can see a nice one over here as well. Right here. This is where they went in. So as I was just saying, folks, 3/4 of a mile from here to Lowveld Dam, which would be the next spot for them to come out for sure. These lionesses will often go out at water, not just for a drink, but also to go around the water and search for prey. Now, they haven't come out there, not this morning, nor this afternoon. And everybody else has pretty much circled this area, driven the roads in this area, and they've had no luck. They've found no signs of these cats. So, yeah, I'd put my yearly salary on the fact that they're in here, probably feeding on another kudu. Who knows? But it's just one of these blocks, everybody, where we just are not going to be able to get in there. I was hoping they may have moved out. Copy that, Kevin. I'd like to come and join you there. I'm about 5 to 10 minutes out.
Yeah, no problem. Just, which side are you coming from?
I'm coming from Kudu Krip.
Okay, no problem.
So you would have heard me chatting to Kevin there, everybody. I think we should take advantage that he's located the herd of elephants, everyone. I don't know if we're going to be able to find these lionesses if they are on a kill in here. So let's head up there see what we get with the herd of elephants. Hopefully it'll be a good sighting. I'm not too sure what sort of vegetation they're in right now, but they're not too far from here. And it sounds like might be making their way towards the reservoir for a drink, which is just up on the next ridge here. So I'm just going to quickly go up there, guys, and if we have enough time, might come back through this way towards Leopard Dam. See if we get lucky with the pride maybe moving out a little bit later this evening. So I'm just going to do some low flying quickly to try and get up to where the elephants are, folks. But now, having found the tracks of the pride back there, we know where they've gone to, and I'll be out on a morning safari tomorrow morning, bright and early. And so if I don't catch up with them this evening, I'm hoping to catch up with them tomorrow morning. I'll be coming straight down here tomorrow morning again. Right, but let's go see if we can find some elephants, everybody. Out in the open, please. So nice to see them together in the open, and maybe even with the little one coming to say hello. As we know, that cheeky little elephant bull likes to do. He likes to come and greet the vehicles. Making sure I'm not driving past a leopard while I'm hightailing it to the elephants. Kudu Crip 2-3 female. This is one of her favourite areas. See the pipes here on the road? This is what I was talking about. This is the elephants, by the way. The elephants ripped all of these pipes up. I really hope the maintenance team comes and sorts that out, because it's been lying there for 3 days already. I know they will. They definitely will get round to it. There's an elephant. That looks like a bull. That doesn't look like one of the herd. They've just had a drink here at the reservoir, I reckon. Now this is the big bull, everybody. He's in must. The large elephant bull is here stationary just west of the reservoir on Lemundering Oos. Oh, he's on the move. Oh, he's a handsome fellow. Gee whiz, look at how much he's dribbling. This I find quite fascinating, by the way, everybody. The fact that he's come back into must again so soon after having not been in must. He's now in full must again. I was always under the impression that, there were longer periods between their must cycles. I know that as these bulls get older, they do have more must cycles in a year than the younger bulls. I always assumed that there were at least several weeks, maybe even months between must cycles. So the herd of elephants, everybody, is very close to where we are here, and I'm sure the bull is probably trailing them slowly. Now that he's in full must again, he'll be regularly trying to mate with the cows in the herd. That's a good question, Mary. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if when a bull is in must, he triggers a female to come into estrus. And maybe, he missed that before and he's picked up on that again, and that triggers him coming into must once again. Not entirely certain. So actually ask Kevin about that. He might know a bit more. Just now checking out Kevin's vehicle. You can see he's heading over there to go say hello. You may have seen Kevin reacting there. Once again, folks, not by driving away and speeding off, but rather just clapping his hands and shouting a quick no to the bull. Kevin, myself, Brent, a couple of the other senior stations are trying our best to try and teach this bull that he's not going to get a response from the vehicles in that they're going to run away from him. But he is in must. So I think that when he's in must, you're often going to get reactions like this. When he's not in must, he's usually a lot more calm. But at the same time, because these bulls are new to the reserve, we're just trying to coach that behavior. I think he's going to head towards these females. I can actually see trees moving now behind the vehicle here, so I think the rest of the herd is very close by here. Just going to turn the vehicle slightly so that I can... Yeah, there you go. Another elephant in there. I think they're coming for a drink at the reservoir here, folks. Yes, indeed, they are. Okay. You can see them moving through the trees there, folks. I'm going to turn around and go and stand by here at the reservoir. They're going to come and have a drink. They're moving at quite a pace, so I don't think we will need to sit here too long. Sadly, the weather's kicked off again. Rain's picking up. Right, let's just sit and wait here, everybody. I don't think it'll be long before the herd comes out here to drink. Just going to quickly hop off the vehicle and throw on my jacket. Here they come. Right on cue. Oh, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Look at this, everybody. Racing in for a drink here. Another member of the herd coming in from the left. Another two members. All here now. Oh man, what a treat, folks. That little bull's getting better and better at getting up on that pump to get his trunk into the reservoir. He's managing it with ease right now. Oh, this is magic. Incredible, eh? They were very thirsty. See the cow on the far right there, everybody keeps reacting to the sounds of the big bull that's feeding in the distance. She might not be enjoying the presence of the bull mixing with the herd. Particularly if none of the cows are in estrus. What a privilege, everybody. Such good timing. We're so lucky with it. This female's very alert. It's now not only the bull that she's listening to, but also Kevin's vehicle. He's slowly approaching from the other side of the reservoir here. Look at her listening. Eh? Unreal. And the rest of the herd just keep drinking. Like they're waiting on her cue as to how to react to the other vehicle approaching. Young bull's trying to grab some water from the cow that's standing next to him. Well, looks like he's had enough. Maybe he's going to come over and say hello. You can still see him drinking there. Copy that. So, not a very nice update from VM at FC, everybody. It sounds like a massive amount of rain's just coming into the reserve from FC and heading our direction. So for the time being, we're still okay, but we may need to wrap things up a little bit earlier than usual here today, everybody. But for now, we don't need to go anywhere other than to sit right here and enjoy these amazing elephants. What is he doing? Found another way to get water. Clever boy. Well, I think they might be leaving soon. Jeez, that was a big drink, eh? From all of them. Just shows you how dependent elephants are on water. Even on a day like today where it's not been hot at all. A body that size requires a lot of water. The older cow heading off there now. And everybody following. Just amazing. Absolutely incredible. Kevin just backing up slowly to give them a little bit of space there. See the elephants reacting to Kevin here, everybody. Essentially, we're just trying to, once again, everybody, teach the elephants that they are not allowed to chase after the vehicles. What is interesting is if you go further down to the bottom there, Basil, you'll see that the herd have got very close to the bull that's in must now. He's that big one with the big ivory there on the left facing us. There's definitely some interest in him. Maybe one of the cows is in estrus. I'm sneaky.
Come on.
Very, very sneaky. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Gareth was putting them up to.
Interesting how they've all gone to go have a sniff at the bull there, eh?
Now the weather's, he smells a bit sort of musty again.
I didn't think they came into must that quickly, Kevin.
I didn't think so either, but he was definitely, that little performance he put in there, I don't know if you filmed it, but...
No, not all of it. And we saw that, yeah. Yeah, we saw that. It was fun.
Because he says, I need a biscuit, I need a biscuit.
I think you need beer.
Yeah.
Carry on before the rain comes.
Yeah, Liam's just said now it's bucketing at FC.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Nice to see you, eh? Enjoy your evening. It's so cool driving up to that vehicle of Kevin's. He's got a whole bunch of friends, fellow homeowners from Leadwood on his vehicle this evening, and everybody with these big fat grins on their face. I think partly because they're just so happy to have seen the elephants, but also probably the adrenaline that's busy pumping through their veins, having been charged by the big bull who's in must here. Really wanted to come in here and just have a quick look, everybody, to see what the big bull's doing. There's a younger cow that was right up next to him. She was literally like going side by side with the bull. It's interesting, I just said to Kevin, you know, I find it so surprising how soon he has come back into must, and Kevin agrees. He also finds it surprising, so going to need to do some reading on it. I always was convinced that it would be a couple of months again before bull would return into must. Very interesting sort of dynamic that's played out here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. But you notice how the herd hasn't just stormed off, eh? They're still hanging around this guy. They're intrigued by his scent, that is for sure. We know that. And like I say, maybe there is a cow that's receptive right now. He's not too fussed though. Just feeding away. Just so grateful though, folks, that we've got to see them and that the rain has held off. I'm just going to change angles here again, everybody. I can see that wall of rain that Liam was talking about. Basil, are you ready to get absolutely soaked on the way home?
Might have be.
Oh yeah. Nothing a nice hot shower won't solve. I'll just have to wrap up the camera. So, folks, once we do leave the elephants here, which is going to be pretty soon, we will keep you with us for as long as we can, but might need to wrap up the camera entirely depending on how hard the rain gets. There's a great shot here of them all still standing around the bull. Incredible. The inquisitive young bull, he's not too sure what's going on here. He still hasn't figured it all out. He will, in time. Eventually, of course, he'll separate from the herd, usually when he gets to about 14, 15 years of age, when he then has his first must cycle. He'll be forced out of the herd by his mother and the other cows, and then will spend his years as he matures with the two big bulls that we have here on the reserve, and he'll learn a lot from them. I just love spending time with these creatures, folks. There's nothing quite like it. And to call this place my home. Certainly one very lucky man. Looking forward to the coming weeks. My father will be returning home for Christmas and New Year here with us at his house on Leadwood. And we're actually going to be going to spend about 10 days with him. Myself, my wife, Kate, and my son, Harrison. 10 days with Grandpa, and I can assure you we'll be spending a lot of those days with these elephants, with my little boy. And that is the ultimate privilege, to have my son growing up here. Can't wait for that. Sorry, Sandy, go again. Copy. It's interesting to note how the bull isn't really targeting any of the females. Very often I've seen when big bulls in must come across a herd, they go straight in and will constantly, test the scent of each of the cows, stick their trunk between their legs, and I've even been fortunate enough to see elephants then mate. But you probably find that's because he's been in must for a little while now. Probably a week at least would be my guess, and he's probably already tested most of these cows, and I don't know, maybe he hasn't found anything he likes just yet. For the time being, we're okay with the rain. It hasn't hit us yet, everybody, so I'm not leaving just yet. I'm going to just come around and get another position on the herd that are now slowly moving towards the road here. Just as I say that, a couple of them have already crossed the road. Just look at that strength. I love watching how they, combine their tusk and their trunk to work the angle and to get a grip and a hold of the tree to then dislodge it. And you can see she's trying to uproot it. She wants the roots, I think. And of course the cheeky young bull comes in and steals the prize from his mother. But you can clearly now see her working the roots off the base of that tree. Look at the bull, how he's having to get his face down there. He hasn't quite worked out how to get that combo going with a tusk and trunk. Of course, he doesn't have very long tusks just yet. Carol, he will be relocated, that's correct, but not immediately. It'll probably be a couple of years before they relocate him, because you must remember he's not going to be a concern in terms of breeding with the members of his herd because of the two bulls that are here. They're going to suppress his must cycle and not allow him to get anywhere near the females here. So yes, in time he probably will be moved, mainly for genetics. But I think we've still got a good number of years with him here on the Rietspruit. Mary, I can certainly feel your jealousy. This is amazing. there they go, folks. We're going to leave them there. We won't continue following the herd as they continue into thick bush there. We're just going to unsettle them. Matriarch's still back here. But yes, everybody, like I say, we're going to leave them here, folks. It's been a phenomenal sighting, and we've just been so fortunate with the weather. But I've just been asked by VM to wrap up the show here this evening. Everybody, the rain is getting worse further south near camp, so he wants us to get back as quickly as possible to get our equipment out from under the rain. But this has been incredible, absolute magic, and thank you to all of you that joined us this evening. Sorry that we have to cut it short, but you know how it goes. It just is what it is, and I look forward to being back out here again tomorrow morning early with all of you that can join us. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful evening or a wonderful day. We'll see you again soon.